Alright, so 9 months later from the last video I posted, and what I guess, turn for the worse the world has taken since then. Like, things really started to get good, going from August and then up until February of this year, so the last, like, 8 months, and then, or no, like 7. And then March comes around, and this corona thing really starts to heat up, and that's kind of where the world's in right now. Like, it's a process of reopening right now, like phases, but I wouldn't say it's really in like a point where we know how to deal with it or treat it. So it's still a lot, like a big unknown, and the problem is we're like a step behind it. It's ahead of us, and it's taken like a lot of lives. I'd say 100,000, but I don't know. The numbers aren't always right. But between that and the amount of riots and stuff going on, and like people being killed for unlawful reasons, and just the world is like becoming like a Far Cry 5 type situation where just everything has gone to shit pretty much, and it's pretty bad. But in times like this strange feeling that's this strange layer that's sitting on top of everything going on, you gotta just see the good and stuff, like simple things, pretty much. Like, since we're supposed to be staying in our house and social distancing, and we have been for the past like 2 months, most people have anyways. It makes you come to the point where like simple things really keep you more occupied, and you take note of them and you kind of enjoy them more. Like, let's just say for the past like month, mowing the lawn with like headphones on, just listening to music, and just being outside when it's nice weather out, in your own space, obviously, for the social distancing part. But um, yeah, like, you can't do much. And the thing is, the world's gonna change a lot after this. Like, places like theme parks and big open public spaces are gonna have like reservation type situations, so you can't have like hundreds of thousands of people all in the one same space, close quarters, to the point where it's like one person coughs and 10 people could get from that same person that's sick. So it just spreads like wildfire, and that is, I guess, could be considered an issue for those places, and it has been for a while. It just hasn't really been brought to the surface or brought to light, especially up until now when this thing's coming. Everyone sees that the issue with these crowded spaces and one person being sick affects everyone around them. And and the thing is, those places don't have enough room to really keep it like a distance type thing, because like waiting in line for like a roller coaster or something is really a perfect situation of how crowded people are in those lines just waiting to go on it. And then even sitting in a seat on that roller coaster, you have no idea who's sitting there, who sneezed, who coughed, all that stuff. So it's really, and they don't clean them. It's really unsanitary in the sense of like the germs and stuff that can spread and then cause more people to get sick. It's crazy. But that's the whole, I guess that's a big thing that's like kind of good that's taken out of this, is that the world's going to try to be more cleaner, I hope, and maybe take more care of things like that, especially considering people are realizing how awful the severity of this is right now. Like, they're just realizing how many people are dying and how the rate of it is kind of, it's up and down. Like, it's a peaking thing, especially in my state, but it doesn't mean that it's not stopped. Like, it's always going. It's like a car almost in a waiting line at a stop sign, or not a stop sign, a red light, where people are slowly going up and checking both ways. They're still moving. It's not like a just sudden halt. But I wasn't gonna here to talk about Corona and the riots and all that stuff going on. In light of all the bad stuff, that you try to see the good in things around you, not like the whole world being burning up essentially, with like the places on fire and the Corona pretty much taking lives at just like this flaming fast rate, in the sense that it's crazy. But yeah, I just wanted to make kind of an update video. Not saying, because I know this happens all the time, where I make like maybe 10 videos or less and then dip for another like 6 months or more usually. It's kind of just like, I don't do this stuff like an actual serious job thing, because that's not only dedication, but there's a problem with YouTube where it just doesn't work for most people, and they get screwed over because like one thing in their content can be claimed by some person wrongfully as like a hate speech, or just it's false claims, and then it leads to just the whole video being rolled out and all that work going into it for nothing. No, I just do this stuff because it's fun to edit essentially, and in the time, I like to kind of update people on certain things that watch them about stuff that's going on, not only in my life, but like things I find interesting, like game updates or stuff. That's why the Zebra News stuff, I used to find so much interest in talking about, oh, this new thing in Call of Duty, just check it out, and I'm really excited for it. And it's almost like an update type system, like a shitty IGN. That's how I would describe the Zebra News stuff. But I just find fun in making these videos and editing them. It's kind of just a thing to keep me busy. But I also, like I said, to occupy or fill you guys in on what's going on in like my life. And I'm gonna be honest, sort of this year I had hope that 2020 was gonna be really good because like most I've noticed like every other year like the even numbers of years like 2016, 18, and I would have thought 20 were really good like overall years, and I just never had a problem in them as compared to like the odd number years sometimes had like bigger things in my opinion that I wasn't a fan of as compared to the even number years like 18 and 20 and well 16 because 20 is kind of a mess, but I still don't have a problem with the year. I'm just saying like look at the things that have come out like movies and music and what would have been concerts and stuff, all these things that would have happened without Corona. It would have been so much better. And you start to realize that like this is pretty much putting the world on pause, and it's crazy to think because everything is kind of skipping a year and going. Everyone that's like big in like a media or industry is really trying to just act like this year is not happening and get skip to the chase, and then finally get to 2021, hopefully thinking that there will be a better point to the point where they have some sort of cure for this. But we don't know about that. I'm gonna be honest. But like I was saying, yeah, I had hope for this year because from the start in January, like after a really good Christmas and ending last year on a good note, like a decade pretty much going into the 20s or the 2020s. It seemed sick because one at the end of the January I went to Florida for like a couple of days in the week or end of the month. It was cold down there for Florida, but it's still nice to just go there and just I don't know. Florida has this vibe when you're vacationing. Obviously, living there is a whole different story, but in my opinion, just going there for a few days and doing some of the things, in my opinion, I like going there just for like a break from all the stuff that you kind of have to do with like schoolwork and stuff. And then February comes around. February was a good month. I did some stuff in February break, like I saw the Sonic movie, and that wasn't even bad. So all these things, I'm like occasionally doing stuff, and I'm still keeping busy. And then March comes around. First 2 weeks, we're all right, and then the 13th comes. Friday the 13th, I still find this like almost like a coincidence, but at the same time not. How Friday the 13th, my school and a couple other around there closed for 2 weeks, leading into 2 months now. Here we are, where school is not like we didn't get to go back to school for this rest of this year, and possibly might not go back anytime soon for the next year, just depending on the severity of the case, like 6 months from now. But yeah, before that, and there's one big other thing that happened around the end of the month, right after I came back from Florida. I just had hope. I was like, this year seems good, and it's kind of going by in a good pace, and I don't know, I have faith. And then Corona comes around and kind of screws everything over for everybody, not just like one person in particular. Maybe some people see this as a good thing, in the sense of like a balancing and like not rethinking, but like taking note of the kind of severity and the uncertainty of these types of situations. But in my opinion, I was just like, dang, it really had to come at a time where like things were starting to like go up like a roller coaster type hill to come down that climax point, and that's kind of what Corona was, just that hill, but like not ever coming back up to a second hill. It's just going down. But I don't know. After in March and April, things are starting to be okay in May. Like I have hope for the summer. Hopefully, some things can be available or open, and you can hang with friends to an extent. But the one big thing that happened that I was excited for in general, that would make like things really more better in my opinion, especially for the summer and just like hanging out with people, is all of last 2019. We spent like a lot of time putting in work and like over the summer painted rooms and stuff and got a new deck in September. We put all this work into the house to make it not look like a complete shit show, and that was because we were planning on selling it and then eventually moving into a new house. November, for like a week, there was a bunch of showings and stuff. Around December, we finally got a person interested enough to like place out an offer. We negotiated with them, and they finally agreed to a number. And then like no repair costs. So even though the house was in really better condition at the time, like when they had like an inspection done for it, it was really nice quality, I guess, for the whole entire overall scheme of things. But yeah, we finally around January, they had to like sign the papers right after we came back from Florida, and then boom, we moved out to that one within a couple of days. Like all the stuff that we had left in it at that time, end of the month. It was funny watching the Grammys in like one chair in the room, not like a whole bunch of couch setup. It was just one chair on the TV and like the whole setup in the room. I just remember things like that about it, and it was nice. But we finally moved into this house like within a week, maybe like 3 days after that, because we kind of zoomed through because we only had the U-Haul truck for a few days. And after that, we are finally in the new house. I know it's hard to see because the light kind of just takes away from everything behind me, which is almost like bittersweet because I didn't want it to like you walk in the video and you see the different change. But I'll probably put in like right here a 5 to 10 second clip of what the new house looks like. Like you can see that there's there's more space, a bunch of more space. There's literally like 10 of my old rooms put into here. My old room could be considered like a closet essentially, or maybe like a decent sized closet. I never complain about it. I'm fine with the space, but it's always nice to have more because it's more room for expansion essentially. That's how I see it, because there's a lot more like room in here. I can put more things in the future, but I like it. There's just this nice vibe to it. It reminds me of that '70s show with the wooden walls and stuff like that. It's just it's nice. It's a nice change, and I'm looking forward to it. Plus, I'm closer to other people and stuff, so that means more opportunities to hang out and stuff. It just is a win-win-win in my book. But I'm not gonna rant about the house too much or talk about it and ramble on. Essentially, I just wanted to make a video to say, hope everyone is staying safe in this time. Hope you're all doing semi-well, for as well as you can be in coronavirus times. And like all this virus, the riots and stuff, and all this mess going on and like around the world, and how it's just chaotic. It's literally reminds me of a state of emergency type thing, and it's crazy that all this stuff is happening in the same year, and it's kind of just been worrisome ever since Kobe died, and I don't know, that was like a bad sign. And in February, it wasn't even like much of Corona, and then it kind of skipped a month and then came back, and then boom, Tom Hanks got it, and the whole world went crazy because it just started to spread like wildfire, and we started to realize it after the fact, and we were kind of behind it. But it's all good because we've already made it 2 months in. For everyone who's social distancing, respect to you. For everyone who's a required worker, I guess like a main person who helps people in the hospitals and does their job is like dealing with the virus, thank you so much to you. You're a trooper in the sense that you're keeping people safe, helping lives, and putting your life on the line at that point. Pretty much a soldier in the sense of like healthcare and all that stuff. So thank you to you. Like I said, I hope we can make it through this as long as you just do what they say to an extent, and don't go into like a giant crowded building or like a giant public space where a million people are, because for all you know, one person's sick and then it spreads, like I said before. But yeah, I'm working on probably a couple other videos, at least after this. I don't know, we'll see how it goes from there. But at the time, I also have this other project I want to try working on, and if it does work, which I'm really hoping it does, I'll probably post part of it, or maybe the whole, like one part of it, just to see how it goes onto the channel. And like I said, I don't have a consistent schedule, because I don't know, I might just post a video randomly when I'm like really interested in something, and I'm just like, yo, this looks sick, so I'll talk about it, and that's how I feel. But at the same time, don't expect like a million videos for the summer, because like I tried that with a couple other summers. Like summer vlogs was a really cool concept, and I had fun making them that summer, but I didn't want to not overwork, but like spend too much time on that, where I'm so focused on one video that I'm not enjoying the moment that I was in the summertime at New Hampshire, and I was having fun that whole time. And little did I know that would be like the second to last time I go to New Hampshire for a bit, because one, we weren't really planning on going this summer, and then two, Corona screws everyone over that was planning on going, so it's kind of a lose-lose situation in that case. But it makes you admire or be happy of the times that you went before, and you can look back on them and be like, dang, better days. But like I said, we'll get through this. It's all good. Stay safe, stay healthy. Wear a mask if you go out into a public space. The social distancing, 6 feet, all that stuff. And I think I'll see you guys in the next video, though. Be on the lookout probably for a Red Dead Redemption video. I played that game a couple days ago, and it's so crazy. It's like the greatest game I've ever played, in the sense of like, it is not just a game. It feels like they tell a better story than most movies these days. It's kind of insane that they spent like, I think 5 years on that. So power to them. And the people in the game, like voice actors, are not even just voice actors. They are like full-on actors with the in-game character like modeling and stuff, and using the 3D capture devices. It's crazy, motion capture. But I think that's it for today's video, guys. Hopefully you are alright. If you did enjoy this, you don't have to. You can hit the like button. If you are new here and you can check my other content out and you find it semi-interesting, and you're maybe like, oh, he might post a video in a couple weeks or something. He'll just post something and I'll watch it just because. Then hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button and the like button if you want. You don't have to. I don't really care about those things as much as I used to when I was like 12. But also, if you want to be notified when I do post another video, whenever that'll be, there's a bell button after you subscribe, and that'll notify you on whatever device you watch. Like, oh, he posted a new video, check it out. And I think that's it for this video. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.